Okay, dokie. Think think everything's live now. Gracious, I got some sort of shadow on my screen there. I don't know what that is. Let me wipe the camera off here again. Ah, had some sort of film or something on the camera. I don't know what it was. Maybe get some people in here in a few seconds. We'll get started with this morning's chat today. Uh, hope everybody's doing good. I think a lot of us are doing better because we don't have uh, Mr. Jimmy Kimmel to worry about on the TV airways. I don't I never watched him anyway, but I, I somebody just out there spewing their propaganda and everything is aggravating. So I'm glad ABC canceled him, and now all the Democrats and everybody all up in the air because of censorship and First Amendment rights. And like a lot of them have said, you've got the First Amendment. The First Amendment allows you to say what you want to say. He can say what he wants to say, but the First Amendment does not give you the right to have a TV show. It doesn't give you the right to broadcast on a public airway. I mean that's dictated by advertisers and the public itself wanting or not wanting that, and it's pretty evident that half America didn't want him on the airways, and that you know that he was he was just evil with all the things he said and everything. He got all upset with Aaron Rodgers a couple years ago, tried to demean him in every which way he could, and Aaron Rodgers is still kicking butt at 40 something years old as a quarterback. He's still doing pretty good. So you know, I don't have any use for Jimmy Kimmel at all. I mean, I think he's just been uh, he's been indoctrinated with the left so bad that it's pathetic, and I don't like his kind of commentary. He's not a comedian. He's not funny at all. I mean, he thinks he can get out there and just spew about all the people on the right and think that his type of people are going to love him. Well, maybe they will, but the rest of us don't. And I'm glad to see him gone. I'm glad to see that he's no longer on the airways. What do you guys think? I see some people in here, but I'm not getting anybody on the chat yet. Come on, make some comment, guys. And now, Randy Rupert, are you out there? Now, Randy Rupert is a friend of mine. Actually, lives here in Cherryville. He's been tuning in on my show because when I go to the car meetings, when I go to our car club meetings, he's always like, "Well, I saw you this." I said, "Well, why don't you comment?" And he's that kind of guy. He doesn't even own a cell phone. I mean, that's the type guy he is. He'll complain to me about things, but then he won't even have a cell phone. You can't even get a hold of him. Randy is a unique fella. He's a great mechanic. He was a mechanic for well most of his life. He was a diesel mechanic for a while. Worked with Larry Lindsay, who used to work for me. He and Larry worked side by side over in Lincoln at one time, and then uh, Randy for the last, I guess, 25 years had his own shop, and he was rebuilding cars. That's what he was doing. He was rebuilding a lot of old cars. Very good, very meticulous, very knowledgeable. Even though he liked Dodge, he's a Dodge guy. I'm just kidding. But and then his brother is a Studebaker fella. His brother Jack is has got several Studebakers, and so between the two of them, they're very unique brothers. Great guys. But here we got Bull of the Woods. Okay, top of the day to you too. Yeah, yeah. I got somebody here chatting now, but uh, getting back on the topic of the airways and everything, I because here I'll ramble on anything. You get me started on something, and I kind of ramble on. Um, I've had a unique week this week. I've been we got our my bush hog fixed. Uh, I had to go up to up above Statesville, North Carolina, to a real good farm supply place up there. I mean, it's out in the middle of what would say nowhere, but I told my wife, I said, well, no, it's not actually out in the middle of nowhere. It's exactly where it needs to be because there's tons of farms around it. I mean, there's some big farming areas up there above Statesville, North Carolina, and it's up there in Union Groves where I was at, and I got the oh, well, that's great. Oh yeah, yeah. All the people that spew the garbage about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, you can go back and I've watched a lot of his old videos this past week. He did not cut people down. He did not spew racism. He did not. And actually, they showed one clip where he called out another guy that was racist, trying that there was, you know, there was a conservative, I suppose, but he called him out and kind of said, "No, we don't need people talking like that." And so he was not a racist and a demagogue, and all these other, you know, all these other titles that these people want to throw on anybody that is not a left leaning liberal. And there are a lot of us that are not left leaning. I'm an independent. Hey Jeff, how are you? I am an independent. I'm not registered with Republican or Democrat. I don't want to be tied to either party, to tell the truth. I mean, I like my independence so I can just the terminology. I can be independent of anything party related. Now, I am very conservative. I will tell you that. So I'm more conservative leaning. I'm not liberal leaning. But I mean, sometimes there are certain things that we need to do as a government socially, uh, and I'm in agreement with that. But you've got to have limits on things like that. Uh, hey James, how are you? Hey Walter. Oh, I know it. Yeah, how they put it now, that's something right there. You got somebody putting a statue up with George Floyd that as, Walter's talking about there. I mean, how do you define the good out of that? There was nothing good that came out of that. I mean, it's already being disproved. I mean, we've got that policeman that's convicted of killing him when the policeman was doing his duty. And because he was using that neck hold, that does not kill people normally, but they said that it did, and they convicted that policeman. But that guy was so high on drugs. Had they just handcuffed him and kept him there, he probably would have died before they got him to the police station, as it was because he was so high on drugs. But that doesn't come out. The toxicology report is terrible on that guy. Yeah, yeah, I am too, Bull of the Woods. I'm the same way. I mean, uh, I try to weigh everything out. I mean, I'm not so hard right or hard left. Like I said, I am a conservative. I'm more conservative leaning than I am liberal, and I just I think the title of independent to me is better than aligning myself with either party. Now, I was a Democrat for a number of years, but Democratic Party just went away. I mean, it left me. I, And the reason I was a Democrat for all those years, that in North Carolina, back in the 60s and 70s, the Republican Party was almost non existent. I mean, you couldn't vote for anybody if you didn't vote as a Democrat because it was either this Democrat or this Democrat. There was nobody even on the Republican ticket on in a lot of things. So that was the purpose of doing that for many years. And then uh, as it got on up toward the Ronald Reagan ages and that kind of thing, things shifted in North Carolina. Uh, but in the '60s and the early '70s and everything, it was entirely different. Now there's somebody going by. I heard may have been my daughter. I don't know. Uh, but anyway, getting back to the topic, I just I feel like being an independent gives me more leeway of voicing an opinion one way or the other without being inundated with, oh, you're a Democrat, oh, you're a Republican, oh, you're this. No, I'm not. I'm just an independent. I'm not a I don't go by the libertarian. I mean, some people say, "Are you libertarian?" No, I'm not. I'm independent. I have no party affiliation. Period. I don't want a party affiliation, and it gives me the situation. Say, if, for instance, if I see something coming up in North Carolina, and is primarily like a Democratic primary, and I don't like this Democrat, but I do like this Democrat, or which Democrat would I want to vote against a Republican, or vice versa. Maybe there's two Republicans and they're two strong Republicans. I've got the choice in the primaries to say, I'm going to vote on the Republican side, or I'm going to vote on the Democratic side. And I can vote in that primary. So it gives me more latitude to be able to do that because uh, and I think that it helps me out, and that way I can get whoever the best candidate would be if it's a strong election in that territory, if I wanted to. So that's the reason I vote or register independent. So it gives me a little bit of latitude. Yeah, I mean, um, I never did. I think my mother was she was independent. My mother was registered. She was never affiliated. I think my dad was Republican. I don't know. He could have been Democrat. I don't know. I never asked my dad what his I know what his feelings were, and I know he was like me. He was conservative, and mom was too. So and we voted the issues and that sort of stuff. I do remember the only time I saw my dad, uh, he had a Goldwater sticker on his bumper one time, and that's the only political thing I don't know if he put it on or somebody else put it on for him, but that was the only thing that I ever saw him voice his opinion on anything. Yeah. Hey, Renegade, how are you? Yeah. Yeah, as most of you notice, I have nothing in the garage right now. The T-Bird's down at the house. I've been driving it around. We put the new radiator and fan, thermostat, and water pump on it, and I've been driving it around a little bit. Still has some work on it. I don't like the way the I don't like the temperature it's getting up to. I hope we don't have to get into putting a head gasket on it or something like that. But that and the old carburetor, I'm going to have to do electronic fuel injection or something. Uh, I've almost come to the conclusion I may want to jerk it all out and put in a newer style engine and transmission because I'd like for this car to be a daily driver. I mean, it is a nice car, pretty car. It's a very pretty car. I like it, and I would much rather drive it and drive it like I do, be able to jump in it like I do my BMW or something like that, where you crank it up, it goes, and you don't worry about it, and you got AC and everything else. That's the way I want this T-Bird to be too. Wow. Now, where are you at, Bull of the Woods? Yeah. Yeah, my dad was like your dad too. My dad had to control 4 boys, and, so, yeah, he ruled the roost. I mean, uh, my mother always kept us in line by saying, "You're I'm gonna be telling your dad when he gets home." So we were always scared when dad would come home because we would figure mom's gonna let him know, and we'll get our butt whooped. Yeah. I bought a '56. You hadn't seen it. I had it in here for a number of weeks. I bought it. It's a real pretty '56. Go back on the old videos, James, and you'll see it. Uh, I bought a '56 T-Bird, with the Continental kit and everything. Got the nice little Opry window on the hardtop and convertible. And I love it. It's a great model. And I'm wanting to make it a daily driver. Right now, it's got the 312 with that like 2-speed automatic, and uh, it it just I'd like to have an overdrive transmission. Uh, well, if I had a modern engine and transmission and something that was decent on fuel and everything, that would suit me better than trying to have a hot. I don't want a hot rod. This is not a hot rod. It is a good, pretty car. I mean, it's to me, it's as pretty as any new Corvette or anything out there right now that cost $100,000. I mean, I would just as soon ride in this T-Bird as I had that. I mean, it rides good. It rides good, drives good. Uh, of course, it doesn't have the amenities as far as safety amenities as far as airbags or something like that. And it does have a metal dash, and you know, but I wouldn't be driving it, hopefully, in conditions that would warrant it. I wouldn't be doing interstate driving and all that sort of stuff. It would be more cruising around my local towns here, is what I'm after. Just going from here to Lincoln into Shelby, uh, something like that. Uh, I'm not. It's not going to. I mean, just driving around my area is all I want it for. I don't want it to. Uh, I mean, if I go somewhere on a trip, I'm still going to drive my like my BMW or something like that. Something I know is dependable and gets good fuel mileage and stuff like that. But I would like to have this T-Bird to be something that I can get in and just ride around, stroll around town, and enjoy myself in it. But that's where I am on it. It's a nice car though. It's a nice car. I'm gonna. It needs air conditioning on it though. I will tell you that. Yeah. Now I'm not a big on the '70 model T-Birds. Those are too big of a car. I wanted a smaller car. It's a 2-seater just for me and my wife. That's what I want. I mean, I'm not hauling children in it. I'm not hauling grandkids in it. It's this car is just for me and my wife and to cruise around in, and that's all I want. And that's why I want to make it a nice, comfortable car for the two of us. And I don't. I'm not interested in having a big family car. I mean, the BMW. I mean, I've got it. I can haul the family in it, and merchandise and everything else. This T-Bird, I just wanted to haul me and my wife, and that's it. So we can go out to a restaurant, something like that. That's I don't want to. I'm not trying to make it into a commuter car or anything like that. And I don't have to commute anywhere too. So I mean, that's the advantage there. I don't commute anywhere. I don't have to go to Charlotte anymore. I don't have to go. I commute back and forth to the doctor. That's about as far as I go. I commute to the doctor's office. I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact. The pulmonary doctor, I have to go see him in the morning about my breathing, but uh, that's all I need. Hey, Joy, how are you? Yeah, how is New York? Have, are you keeping Kathy happy? Joy, our resident New Yorker, there. Uh, he's you're cold. Gosh, it's not cold down here. It is still nice and warm up here. Down here, not up here. Yeah, 52 degrees, huh? It's 70 something here, I think already. I hadn't checked my phone. Let me check my phone now that Joy's got me thinking how 68. It's 68 here. That's what it says. Uh, so we're just plenty warm, plenty nice down here, and like I said, I mean, I'm enjoying things better this week. You know, I guess it's going to be a sad thing today with Charlie Kirk's memorial and everything. They're really having to beef up the security there. Yeah, yeah, those '60s models when it got to be a four seater and everything. I wasn't, I had a friend that has a like a '62 T-Bird, but after '57, I wasn't interested in the T-Bird after that. The '55, '6, and '7s are the prettiest ones. And I prefer the '56 with the Continental kit. That's the only year they had the Continental kit. And that's the pretty one to me. And the '55 didn't have the Continental kit, and the '56 did. And like I said, that with the Opry window and everything, it was a very pretty car. It's very similar to the one that you see in American Graffiti, that you see Suzanne Summers riding around in, and it's a timeless vehicle in my opinion. The look that it has is it's a very timeless look, and it's always been a dream of mine to have one. I've always wanted one, and so I got this one. I'm very happy with it. I mean, to me, I'd rather have that than a Corvette uh, or any of these other cars. I'm going to make this car uh, as drivable as I can for me. Um, they had one of the 55 sixes or sevens. I can't remember. Yeah, that I'd have to go back and research that myself, but I'm pretty sure they had one like that too. They could have had a 58. I mean, some of them liked the 58. I'm not real keen on the 58. It jumped up to being a bigger car. I don't know if Ford decided that was the market they wanted to go for or what, but well, I guess they did. That's when they came out with the Edsels and everything else. But to me, had they stood or stayed with the two seater and the T Bird, I think they would have had a winner. But that marketing people, I mean, they still outsold Corvettes back then. I mean, they were selling more T Birds than Vets, 10 to 1, I think, if you go look at the stats. Uh, Corvettes were not a hot seller in 54, 5, 6, and 7 in comparison to the T-Birds. The T-Birds were killing them on the market. And I mean, probably part of it was pricing and everything too. I don't know. And the fact that the first T-Bird, I mean, first Corvettes actually came out with a 6-cylinder, and people didn't like that as good. Yeah. Okay. A 57. Well, the 57 looks very similar to what mine. The 56 is my favorite, like I said, because it has a Continental kit. Dan Tana. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's an old show. Now, most people wouldn't remember that show. Most people wouldn't remember it. When you talk about those things, the kids, had to Google it or whatever to see who that was. Yeah. Yeah, that's it wasn't a real big popular show. It was, uh, I mean, I don't think it didn't last but a couple of years, but it was a good TV show. And that, of course, not like I guess one of the popular ones of that era was 77 Sunset Strip. That was a good show. Of course, Connie Stevens was a pretty girl. That's one reason. Was it 78 to 81? Okay, I was thinking it was before. I thought it was in the 60s. Maybe not. Okay. I I remember it, but I was thinking it was earlier. Well, that's my brain messing up there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wonder where Jamie's not in here this morning. I haven't seen Jamie sign in. He must be tied up. He's going to have to he'll have to check in with me later and give me a comment. I see all the regular guys in here, a lot of you, but I hadn't seen Jamie this morning. And like I said, Randy Rooper is probably out there and won't chat with me. Now, Randy, if you're out there, you need to chat. You need to get on there. And some of these guys that actually own Dodges might have a question. Randy is a Dodge expert. He he loves his Dodge vehicles. He's got a couple of Dodge pickups, and his brother Jack's got an older. I think we used to ride around in it when I was in high school. He had an old Dodge with a flatbed on it, and I think they still have it. I don't know. They do have a good car collection. Well, guys, what else do we want to talk about today? I'm like I said, I'm glad that the airways are cleaning up. I'm glad Jimmy Kimmel is out of the picture. And like I said, the next thing is I'd like for them to clear the view out if we could get the view off the air, that would be good. But you never know. They're CNN and all these others. They try to uh, spew some of their propaganda, regardless. Uh, I hope CNN cleans its act up. They do have that one conservative commentator uh, that he kills them on there. He tears them up. Oh, really? Okay. I hadn't. He's got a channel, Graveyard Cars. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that channel. I'd check it out. I like looking at those different channels. I've got a lot of channels that I watch, and they we try to be as versatile as we can. I watch I think I've told it on here before. I like Mike Morgan, uh, Outdoors with the Morgans, and then Out in the Woods. That's a guy that has a sawmill. He's not too far from me. He's up above Bristol, Tennessee, up here. And then Let's Dig. I like to watch Let's Dig. He's a guy, construction guy here in North Carolina. Uh, he his name's Chris, and he has a good show. Oh yeah, I know. They try to twist everything the best they can. They twist everything as much as they can, and uh, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. They the liberals, when things don't go their way, they try every angle to lie, and that's the reason Jimmy Kimmel got knocked off the air. I mean, there he was saying, "Oh, that shooter was one of our own." Well, he wasn't one of our own. Just because his mom and dad were conservative, that they themselves turned him in and talked about how liberal that he had gotten, and he's living with a transsexual. They don't want to bring that out either. The transsexual thing just tears these people up because the liberal Democrats want their darndest to to normalize transsexuals, And that is a mental health thing. I mean, you can be gay, you can be uh, gay or lesbian or whatever. I don't care. But when you say you're transsexual, now you have changed from female to male or male to female. Ain't going to happen. That's not logical. You might change your looks, but you're not going to change your anatomy in a way that it works. I mean, you're not going to be a female, transition into a male, and then be able to reproduce. You're not going to be able to do the same thing if you're uh, a male and try to be a female and reproduce. It does not happen. It won't happen. And that's what these people have got to realize. It's a mental thing. It's not physical. It's mental, and they're they have mental problems, and that's been proven, and that's been proven. Even the ones that have transitioned, there's been more suicides from the ones that have transitioned than finding out how bad their life is after that. Oh yeah, the crazies are going to come out about that. Yeah, they're going to threaten. They're going to do everything. Now, where was was that a church that you go to, Bull of the Woods? I mean, where are you located at? I don't know where your location is. I mean, what state do you live in? Or I know that it's probably going to be a madhouse out there in Arizona. Uh, I mean, for they said that they'll probably overfill the stadium, the football stadium, and then they've got the other stadium right beside it, and they're going to have overflow people in it. And then security is going to be extremely tight because the president and the vice president are both going to be out there and speaking. So the security is going to be extremely tight because there could sneak in a another crazy assassin or something could sneak in. But I'll guarantee that every metal detector and everything else, people are going to be they're not going to be allowed to take anything into that stadium. And if they get in, it's going to be through odd or crooked ways, I would imagine. But we'll see. I guess we'll see. I hope everything goes off okay. I mean, I don't want to see uh, any more torment and bad things come out of that. You take care, Renegade. Oh yeah, I want to see the death penalty for that guy. And that state, Utah, allows firing squad because if you remember, what was the guy Gary Gilmore? They killed him for through a firing squad, and that's what he needs because he killed Charlie Kirk that way. That's exactly how that guy needs to be killed. Put him up in front of a firing squad and let 8 or 10 guys go at it, and that would be poetic justice, you might say. Yeah, you don't you know I actually believe an eye for an eye on that. I mean, you killed Charlie Kirk with a long range rifle, and that's exactly how you need to go out too. I mean, that's not cruel at that point. You're getting justice, and put him up in front of a firing squad because, like I said, that is still legal in Utah, and go for it. Put him up that way, and you know that's the way you took Charlie out. It's the way they need to take you out. That's the way I feel about it. Well, guys, I am going to get on out of here because I am actually going to be on the radio today. I've got to be on the radio from 12 to 3 on jukinoldies.com. I'm going to type that in there in case anybody wants to listen. I'm going to be on the airways. You can get it on your streaming service. You can get it on your Apple phone or Android phone. Uh, but you can type that in, and that's where I'm going to be at noon today. So I'm going to get off. Got to rest my voice a little bit because I'm going to have a 3 hour show. Of course, I'm going to be playing music most of the time. But if you like listening to oldies or whatever, that's where I'm going to be at 12 o'clock today. So you guys take care. I'll catch you later. See you.